Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to Today in Bitcoin. Today is July the 26th, 2017. Buy and hold. Strong hand. Control your private keys. Seriously. Thanks for the person who used the Coinbase referral link that is listed below in the notes section. Hey, people are still buying Bitcoin up to the last, people aren't scared off by these FUD dates and everything. That's good to know. And speaking of buying things and using links below, Joseph over at cryptohwwallet.com wants to remind everyone, we'll get Trezors next Friday. So we are ready to ship. All right, so Trezors are going to be back in stock over there. Check out the notes section below. Also in the notes section, link to yesterday's show. And of course, this Friday, which is coming up, this week in Bitcoin, we're going to have some interesting guests. It probably will be around, come on about 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. Don't quote me on that yet, but be prepared. A guest is going to be from India, one of our guests, a new guy that you haven't heard of before. So that should be interesting because people wonder about India and Bitcoin and all that stuff. So yeah, cryptography. You can get shirts like this listed below with the Meister discount code. All right, so let's jump right into the big news of the day. Greece arrests Russian suspected of running $4 billion Bitcoin laundering ring. And this is the guy who might have been in charge of the Bitcoin exchange BTC-e, which many of you have heard me talk about before because I've said that it's anonymous, it's in Eastern Europe, it could shut down at any time. Well, guess what? And I mentioned it yesterday a lot in the video. And it hasn't come back up again. It has disappeared. And people are saying that the owner, again, there's a Reuters article about that he's been arrested, if that's really the owner, and that he might have been involved in the Mt. Gox hack back in the day. That's all cryptocurrency gossip, okay? The bottom line is you can't keep your Bitcoin or Litecoin or whatever at an exchange, because you don't get a warning before it shuts down. It just shuts down and they run away with your money. And some of you are saying, oh, well, it says they're going to come back online. All right, sure. Believe that if you want to believe that. I'm going to get my coins back from BTC-e. Believe that if you want to believe that, okay? What you should have done was you should have bought a Trezor back in the day and stored your Bitcoin over there, or a Ledger Nano, or a Keep Key, or whatever. The bottom line is that this is a lesson that everyone's got to pay attention to, and that you were all warned about this lesson. And it's going to keep happening. It's going to happen again. Again, it happened with Bitfinex last year, and there was the price went down when this happened. The price has gone down a bit because of this, partially because of this probably, but it's not as big of a deal as the Bitfinex one in terms of affecting the price. So that's cool. I mean, the Bitcoin ecosystem has progressed where we're not as fixated on these closures anymore, but these closures are going to keep on happening. You cannot rely on third parties. Relying on third parties is the biggest mistake a person can make in cryptocurrency. And pound that like button if you agree with that statement. Because whether you get into, well, I'm going to exchange my Bitcoin for some other coin, or I'm going to try to invest in some mining thing, or I'm just going to store it at an exchange and try to be a trader, even though 90% of traders lose money. That's all third-party stuff. When you just buy and hold, put it on your Trezor, control your private key, that's it. No third parties involved at all. And it sounds boring, I know. But long-term thinking, people, short-term thinking gets you into the mindset where, oh, I'm going to store it on this exchange. The exchange, it might get hacked one day. It's not going to get hacked when I'm on it. And it won't get, maybe it'll just close and then come back again because of something that happened in Eastern Europe, and everything will be fine. Again, so for some of you, this is all very repetitive, what I'm saying. But for a lot of people, you need to be reminded. And it's still new to you. There are a lot of new people in this space. And we don't want new people ending up like this, because it creates an atmosphere that isn't good for the community, where the mainstream media picks up on false narratives, where they're going to say, oh, Bitcoin got hacked, not BTC-e got hacked. So the less people who are angry about this, the better. Okay. So yes, it is an avoidable. The reminder is that this is all very avoidable. It's all very avoidable. So there's an article, Fortune magazine, or Fortune.com, I guess it's Fortune magazine, article about hedge funds and cryptocurrency. And the one little tidbit, and I linked to it below, and the one little tidbit that I just was really interesting is that there's one of these hedge funds owns 1% of all the Monero out there. Of all the cryptocurrencies to own 1% of, and who it is, a hedge fund owns 1% of all the Monero out there. That is really interesting. That's, I mean, imagine more and more hedge funds buying the Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency. I mean, we're at the beginning of something here, and that they were willing to risk on this called anonymous coin that is associated with the dark market and everything. Very interesting. Really something that's thought-provoking. So pound that like button if you like Monero. Let's see. Two people have emailed me, completely separate people, about Litecoin and the M address. Apparently, I saw something pop up on the chat there. The bad virus. Looking forward to seeing Fluffy Pony on the Kaiser report tomorrow. I'm convinced that Monero is truly the most disruptive currency in the space. Well, thank you for the 5 British pounds there. I think that's what you sent me there, the bad virus. And yeah, Monero is very interesting. I don't like Kaiser. I think he's whack, but you know, he's got a big show. That's cool that he's giving Fluffy Pony some exposure. And again, Monero fans, I'd love for Fluffy Pony to come on the show here. We just don't give a dash people opinions to speak their mind. Monero can speak their mind on this channel also. I just have not been able to arrange that with Fluffy Pony. But hey, man, he's gonna get a lot more people are gonna watch him on Max Kaiser than on Adam Meister's show. So to each his own. Very good for Monero. And again, maybe they'll ask him about 1% of his, because you know, I bet Fluffy Pony isn't a big fan of hedge funds. I don't know him personally, but from some of the things he's put out there, wouldn't think he's a big fan of hedge funds. I wonder what he thinks about 1% of his what he created being owned by a hedge fund. Maybe he doesn't mind, because you know, anyone can buy it. So going back to Litecoin, a second person contacted me, or 2 people have contacted me about this. That Litecoin now has an M address, and then there's the L address, and some people are getting very confused, and there's a 3 address, and they all might not work well together, and that the Trezor only stores the M address. So my advice to everyone is pay attention before you jump into Litecoin. Learn about M addresses, L addresses, and 3 addresses, more so than I have. And if you can exchange, send between all 3, and know what they are before you start sending your Litecoin from your Trezor or to your Trezor, or even storing Litecoin on your Trezor. Try to understand what all 3 of those things are. All right, because 2 people have called me contacted me, and they're not very happy about how there's an M address now. They've run into some problems. And I'm not flooding Litecoin here. This is an educational type of thing here. I love Charlie Lee. He's got to come back on the show soon, hopefully. All right. Going back to the altcoins that have been coming out that are using the Bitcoin name. Well, first of all, remember, in the next few weeks, the best thing you can do with your Bitcoin is do nothing. Make sure your coins are not on an exchange. That's all. It's really that easy. Control your private key. So there are such things as replay attacks. And apparently some of these fake Bitcoins that are coming out are going to protect you against a replay attack. But because of that, now I'm not an expert on that, that it further differentiates themselves from Bitcoin, the path they've taken, and further puts themselves in this altcoin category, which they no doubt are. They're FUD coins. So that's interesting. But again, I wouldn't trust them that they're protecting you from a replay attack. There's some people that are telling me that you're going to get some private key exposure if you try to buy one of these FUD coins that are out there. So, or try to involve yourself at all. You know, try to split your Bitcoin into this FUD coin. So a lot of people are saying, oh, I'm going to get a free FUD coin from all of this nonsense. Well, it might not be that simple, people. I mean, when I start hearing about the exposure of your private key to these people who are behind these FUD coins, and that doesn't make me feel very secure. You know, this has been about security today, this video. Hey, and I'm not an expert in technical things like this about exposing your private key, if this really is going to happen when you get involved with this FUD coin. But if it is, dude, just enough, because I have no interest in getting involved in this FUD coin. So, you know, but if it is, avoid. And anyway, avoid it anyway. It's a FUD coin, it's an altcoin, and you know, you trying to make $5 and then losing your Bitcoin because of it, you'll feel very bad in the end. You'll feel like how those BTC-e people are feeling today who kept their coins on BTC-e. All right. And I wanted to remind everyone that, you know, just because something uses the Bitcoin name doesn't mean it's Bitcoin. And there are already examples of that out there. There is an altcoin called Bitcoin Dark. There's an altcoin called Bitcoin Plus. They're not Bitcoin. Everyone knows it. They're not. And it's funny, sometimes they surge when you have these weird news stories where people get confused and think they might be some real form, alternate form of Bitcoin. I don't know. They're not. So Andreas Antonopoulos has a new video out that it talks about how you secure your Bitcoin. And he's putting it out there because of the current situation in Bitcoin, that people need to secure their Bitcoin now. And he reminds you, if you have your Bitcoin at Coinbase, you don't own your Bitcoin, really. They own your Bitcoin. All right. Let's see. Again, I think people are doing a better job not giving a platform to the people behind the FUD coins. And you know, I just glanced over to the chat and I see people are saying my name. This is a reminder. I can't read the chat when I am doing this video. So if people have questions, you can email me the questions, of course. Adam@tresorhelp.com. If it's a simple question, I'll give you a simple answer. If it's a complex question, there's going to have to be a consultancy fee involved, obviously. If you want a big long answer. And again, Adam@tresorhelp.com if you want to schedule your cryptocurrency consultation, or if you need to schedule your Trezor setup, I can help. But again, people saying things over in the chat. I mean, I see Vention MGTOW is there, and he always deserves a shout out, and you should pound that like button because Vention MGTOW is there, spreading the MGTOW philosophy. But I can't read what you guys are writing when I'm, you know, in the middle of the story, in the middle of a video. No offense to anyone over there. So the SEC, again, they are putting the smackdown on the ICOs. I don't know the specifics. I've heard that maybe Americans aren't going to be able to buy ICOs. I have not had time to read the article. It's partially linked to below. But all you really need to know is that they've taken an interest. It's not going to be easier now for these ICOs. This isn't the best news for Ethereum, I would assume, but maybe some people will like it and say, oh, well, ICOs are about to be regulated heavily by the SEC, so that means Ethereum's great. I don't know. Make your own decisions on your speculative altcoins like that. So I believe that's it for today. I could say pound that like button 15 more times. Yeah, remember that just because something has a Bitcoin name doesn't mean it's Bitcoin. It's nothing but an altcoin, baby. Was that? Oh my God, that's a flashback, isn't it? Anyone know that old hip hop song from back in the 90s? I'm not going to name it because I might have butchered it so badly just now that it's completely unrecognizable. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video. And no, I don't really like hip hop. I like classic rock. I'll leave you with that note. Pound that like button. Bye-bye, everyone.